What's up, and welcome to Nighttime at the Nerd Bar, episode 47. Woo!
What?
I know, crank it along. We're going to be 50 soon. That's
Oh
exciting.
my God. Oh my God. It'll be middle of November for that one. It'll be early November, middle of
What?
November. I can count.
Yes, and things.
Never do math
But
in public.
yes, it's
Never
Monday
do math in
energy
public.
always for you all. That's when we record this. But whenever you watch this, awesome. Thank you for joining us. If you're joining live, we have a live chat going on. If you're watching later, no worries. Comment down below. We are going to be talking. We have Spy Family, My Hero Academia, anime news announcements. We'll be talking about the Animation is Film Festival, which also has One Piece Red news and stuff. So stay tuned. And we
As
both
always.
were at that film festival. So we'll tell you all about that. But let's get right into other important details. I'm Carrie Lane.
And I'm Katie Cullen.
Yes. And so let's get this
doing
kicked off. Things we're excited about. Actually, I was like, let me make a. So first, I was like, this weekend, I can type.
So many things happened. Things occurred.
Yeah.
There was stuff.
Okay, Animation is Film Festival.
This first. Yep.
That was a big one.
Yes, we are. Yep.
So this film festival happened this past weekend. It started on Friday. Katie was there opening night. Katie, how was opening night?
Oh my God, it was so good. Holy cow. I was fortunate enough to be able to cover the carpet, which coverage for that is coming shortly. I got to interview Henry Selick and I nearly died. So that was a thing. That's one of those I didn't even know that was on the bucket list, but I'm going to tick it off because that, for those of you going, who? Henry Selick has been a director and has been working in stop motion animation for decades. He was the director of Nightmare Before Christmas and Coraline, and he is the co-director, along with Jordan Peele, of Wendell and Wild, which is a new Halloween movie aimed at a slightly younger crowd. It's PG-13. And that is dropping on Netflix on the 28th. I was fortunate enough to get into the premiere, so I've already seen this movie. Everyone needs to watch it. It has a lot to say, and it is not afraid to say it. It's going to be one of those movies that pisses off 1 million moms and groups like that for all the right reasons. I kind of wonder how my view on things would have been different had I had a movie like this growing up. This is one of those things where it's going to be representation for a lot of kids and teenagers who don't get to see themselves or their circumstances. It's definitely got some things to say about how the world works versus how it should work. And there's comments I want to make that I can't make because they're plot spoilers. I will say it has very good trans representation. One of the reasons that 1 million moms is going to be angry at it. But, if 1 million, I don't even know if I'm getting that name right. That ultra conservative parent group that's mad at everything. Yeah. If you got 1 million moms mad at you, you're doing something right. So, and again, this is a movie that is co-directed by Jordan Peele. Yes. Yep. Excited to see it on Friday. Good.
Yeah.
It's co-directed by Jordan Peele, and Jordan Peele has never been afraid to put himself, his viewpoint, and his messages into his movies. And this very much has his fingerprints on it in that way. And of course, it has that incredible Henry Selick artistry. Again, the interviews I did will be up a little later. The character designer is a Spanish caricature artist. So all of the characters, they're really interesting looking characters that you can kind of sit back and go, yeah, okay, that makes sense. And this is based on this. And oh my God, it's so good. It's so beautiful. And stay through the credits, because during the credits, they pull back a little and they show you the stop motion process in action.
Yes.
I love and there's a little post credits bit. So
very cool.
Watch Wendell and Wild. I was fortunate enough to do some coverage and to be able to see it on Friday night, to see that in a theater with the people who worked on it. Amazing.
Yay. It went through the weekend, then I was there Saturday, Sunday, and Saturday I saw a lot of movies, and there's going to be a lot of interviews coming, so stay tuned. Saturday, the first one I saw, which is available now on Netflix, is Oni, Thunder God's Tale. Oh my goodness, it's one of those I didn't really know anything to expect, and it was just phenomenal. It's 4 episodes. I do air quotes there because it just plays like one long movie.
Yeah.
It's just broken up into like part 1, part 2, part 3. And it's just a really interesting look at like family, how we see ourselves, how we see others, how we interact with our environment. And I want to be as vague as possible in a way because I don't want to spoil anything.
Yeah.
The stop motion animation is really kind of unique because it has almost almost as if it feels like frames are missing, but that kind of gives it a really cool movement to it. And I thought that was really cool. And it is in English. But it is based on Japanese folklore. And so if you're interested in that, definitely check it out. But I think this is something for everybody to check out. And another big message I really liked, like kind of the looking back, is how, a lot of times the older generation is scared of things. And it's the younger generation who has the courage to overcome obstacles and, show us how things should be done. So I really appreciate it. And it's really good. And it's emotional. I don't want to spoil that either, but
yeah, it's so hard not to be like, and this and this and this. It's like, no, I have to wait for people to watch it.
Yes.
And then we go nuts.
Yes. It's excellent though. I highly recommend it. And it's in all ages too. It's it's not one of those where it feels too young and you're just like, but no, great for all ages. Saw My Father's Dragon, which is based on a children's book. That's also a lovely film. And it is child protagonist kind of learning how to approach the world, and maybe sometimes how you think you should do things isn't quite right, and learning through different life adventures. And then the other big one on that day is the One Piece film Red, which was very fun. And I will admit, and I've said it before, I'm not someone who's seen all the One Piece episodes, so I'm that perspective of like, well, what's it like going into this if you brought your friends who have never watched or watched very few?
Yeah.
It's still really fun. It's a more unique kind of antagonist, which will be talked about in the interviews as well. It's something a little bit different. And also, there's a lot of music. Music is a very big part of this. You've probably already heard that kind of main theme song in the trailer. Lots of music, really cool music. So just go in with that, and you can bring your friends who've never watched it. They'll have a really good time as well.
I mean, when one of your main characters is an idol and is voiced by Amelie, there's going to be singing.
Yes.
Also, evidently, the movie is manga compliant, so anime-only watchers might also be a little lost.
Oh, okay, nice. So that's one of those
it is extremely up to date.
And talked with a lot of the cast too about like what makes this one different after so many episodes. And so stay tuned for those interviews.
Yeah.
And then real quick, I'll go through Sunday, saw Titania, which is a Netherlands Dutch. I think there was kind of collaboration, but it's based on a true story about an Italian designer and a Norwegian explorer. And they went in an airship to the North Pole, and they did bring a dog named Titania.
Yeah.
Titania. I'm saying it right. There we go. Anyway, it was really cool. That one's the animation kind of makes me think a teeny bit of Triplets Above You. But the thing about that's really unique is they had the real footage from the 20s that these explorers filmed. And so they kind of cut back and forth between those moments.
Really?
And yes. It was
Nice.
super cool. And they said kids really like that because then they're like, wait, this is real? It's like, yes. And then there's the real dog that went on this trip. Oink, which is a really cute film that one is a Dutch film, and that's stop motion animation. So one in a while. This apparently animation film, they mentioned how it is a kind of a celebration of stop motion animation this year, which is really cool and exciting.
Yeah, and speaking with Henry Selick for Wendell and Wild, he very much put because a lot of stop motion puppets have a seam right here, so the expressions can be swapped out. And he left the seams in, very much left it as we want to emphasize the artistry of stop motion. So we're not trying to smooth things away and make it look like it's CG. It's very much stop motion, and we want you to see that.
Yes, love it. Oink is super cute. So that's the translation of it's a pig, and they named the pig Oink, but in Dutch it's like Noor. It's like Knor, Noor. And that one was pretty unique in talking with the director about it. Is she did all of the scale of it very, very small. So someone has a pet pig and it's like this big.
Oh,
It's like
geez.
teeny tiny. And
Oh,
she's like, yes,
geez.
my animators kind of hated me. Because then there are slugs too. So that's even more like, but they said that really gave it a unique perspective and made things cuter and just how there's texture and movement. And so that was also I like that one a lot. And saw the women's shorts film, which was really cool. That's a little over the place. And yeah, Unicorn Wars, which is very unique. I'm not sure it was quite my cup of tea, but there's a lot going on there that was interesting. And I really appreciated the Q&A after and hearing the filmmaker's perspective.
Yeah. Like having seen the trailer for that, that's one of those where it's like, you're in for a trip. You are in for a ride.
Not for children, 100% not for children at all. There were some children. And I'm like, oh no. And for context, for people who have no idea what we're talking about, so in this movie, it's cute, cuddly looking bears and colors and everything and unicorns. There is violence. There are genitals. There is self-harm and like pure chaos and violence and war. And it's a lot of metaphor, literally and kind of figuratively, of war and the brutality of that. So do not take children of like, oh no, that was one of those, oh no. I hope they did not know.
Like the trailer shows unicorns goring these little teddy bears. So it's like, it's the trailer makes it very clear, like, this is not for your children. Please do not bring your kidlets to this. This is very much one of those, animation is an art form, not a genre, not an age range.
Yes, exactly. 100%. Overall, had a really great time. It's a really cool festival. If you're ever in the Los Angeles area when it comes around, it's cool to experience all these films with an audience. And hopefully they do get picked up by different outlets and you can see them maybe on Netflix. I think Oink was saying they might be coming to Amazon. So be on the lookout. If you go check out the Animations Film website and check out the films. And best way to do it too is follow the filmmakers because they'll post when those are available. And that way you can check them out. And then stay tuned for our interviews with filmmakers as well.
On this channel, they will be up piecemeal. They'll be up when they happen.
More like it's
Happy Tree Friends is like cartoon. I don't want to call it cartoony violence, but it's gratuitous in order to be funny.
Yeah, this is like
I've seen animated movies like this, and I'm trying to remember like what. I don't want to say like Wizards because Wizards is a very different kind of trip, but like
and that's
I've seen movies like this.
Yeah.
No, Wizards is definitely made for adults, but Wizards is also
that's a really good movie too.
It's a whole ass other thing.
Parents need to do more research before taking their kids to movies. One of those, just look up the film. I know different kids and families have, your own barometer on what you're okay with and what you can handle. So just look into it. Don't assume. That's
even
it,
just
as we were saying.
Watching the trailer. Like again, this trailer makes it very obvious what it's about. And it was the sort of thing where I watched the trailer and I went, probably not for me. Probably not.
That's a bit too much gore probably for you.
Yeah.
That's all right.
All right. Much, it's a lot.
Did we have any? So that would be it for Animations Film. Stay tuned for interviews. Did we have more before Overwatch?
We had all sorts of news.
There we go. Back to things we're excited about.
I was going to say, did we have more? Yes. Starting with the fact that the Chainsaw Man dub premieres tomorrow.
Yes.
So that is the October 25th at 12:30 p.m. Pacific. It will be on Crunchyroll. Ryan Colt Livy is our main character. He's Denji. So like my dude is living the dream. Good for him.
Yay. Yes.
So yeah, that premiere for the dub drops tomorrow, as well as episode 3 of the sub. So we got a couple episodes behind. So yeah, that'll be fun. I am expecting Crunchyroll to just crash again. In much the same way that Netflix used to crash every time a new Marvel every time a new Marvel series dropped, it would crash Netflix's servers. Pretty sure that Netflix crashed when a Chainsaw Man first dropped. So I'm fully expecting it to do that again. And that's not a knock on Crunchyroll. I work IT and it is extremely hard to stress test servers to that extent. It's the same reason you see people going, "Oh, the Comic-Con site is down again." I'm like, "Yeah, um, if you have enough people who are super into it and all trying at the same time, it's the same effect as a DDoS attack. Like, you can only stress test your servers so far. So,
Crunchyroll
that's
did
not
have issues when the first episode Chainsaw
Mhm.
Man dropped because
Yeah.
people were that excited. So
Oh, yeah.
yes.
No, that's
Oh,
that's what I'm saying is I'm expecting
hmm,
it to do that again because people are also excited about the dub. Like, and again, that's not me going Crunchyroll needs better servers. That's me
yes.
going there's so many people excited that you cannot adequately stress test a server to handle it all. That's a big number. That's a lot of demand.
There we go. Hold on. I was on one moment because I'm all, where did I make it? Okay. I forgot one other quick shout out. Thank you so much to Crunchyroll and Toei because one, the premiere was awesome, being able to go to that, cover that, and then they had an after party afterwards, which was really cool. Great decoration. They put like the red lighting everywhere. They had the pirate banners. They had sushi and
Nice.
specialty drinks. So huge thank you for that. Stay tuned. I have a TikTok coming up to kind of highlight that evening in addition to the interviews. Yes.
Very nice.
All right. And another show coming out, we have Crunchyroll acquires hit historical action anime series Vinland Saga Season 2. So that is going to be coming out. Simulcast of the second season is going to start this January, which, oh my gosh, I can't believe we're almost to January. It's like,
Yeah, what the heck? What happened in
yes.
2022? Where did it go?
Ah.
What is this?
So that will be in more than 200 countries and territories around the world. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah, and that's plenty of time to catch up on season 1 if you haven't watched it already. I
Indeed.
hear very good things. Here, is that all of our Crunchyroll news? Like, a world premiere wasn't enough.
You know, it's a
a
world
couple
premiere, world
premieres.
dub premiere.
World
Yes.
dub premiere, yes.
Yes.
Like a world dub premiere wasn't enough. Like the Chainsaw Man news isn't enough. Like Vinland Saga season 2 wasn't enough. Do we have more Crunchyroll news, or is that that?
I think that covers it.
Right, we
coming
do
out.
have.
I was gonna say, Rab mentioned Witch from Mercury. Yes, the new Mobile Suit Gundam. That I was like, that's a new season.
It's
They had-
available on Gundam's YouTube legally. I think it's on
Interesting.
Crunchyroll, but it's also on YouTube. It might be on High Dive. I
Says
don't
first
actually
episode
remember
was
what it's
October
on.
2nd. I haven't started it yet, but one of the new Gundam
It's out.
ones,
Yeah.
they had trailers for it at the Animations Film Festival. There we go. I'm like things because
Yeah.
what is that company that does? I'm like Fathom Events is doing special screening.
Okay, yeah, that'll do it.
Yes.
I was gonna say, speaking
Monday
briefly
Energy,
of
y'all.
High
And
Dive.
after a weekend of doing
Oh my
anime
god.
and movies
Oh my
and
god.
things. Whew. Okay. Yes. High Dive.
Speaking of High Dive has the spin-off Lupin Zero coming as an exclusive new series this December. Now, for those who are familiar with Lupin the Third, this is the prequel. This is Biddy Lupin meeting his partners in crime, doing things. So, yeah, for those of you who are interested, do the thing, win the stuff. I'm trying to see if there is a date for it. Debuts Sunday, December 16th on High Dive. So yeah,
Nice.
Lupin fans, you are being fed. It's going to be great.
From the chat, Charles mentions back to the Mercury, it's on Crunchyroll.
Yeah.
And then Rab says 1 episode on YouTube. Nice.
Trying to get people in. That's fair.
Yes. All right, now
we also have, for those of you who are into Evangelion, as I attempt to find this email, here it is. GKIDS is bringing Evangelion 3.0 plus 1.0 Thrice Upon a Time to select IMAX theaters.
That's the one I was going to say. Animations Film had a trailer for that for most of the screens, which I'm like, yes.
Oh, yeah. December 6th, 8th, and 11th are the screenings. So definitely look into that. It's gkids.com/Evangelion. And that will give you the participating offices and the show times starting on November 2nd. So yeah, on November 2nd, go get yourself some Evangelion tickets for IMAX. And for those going, why is this a big deal? Have you watched Evangelion? Have you seen what happens when the Sakuga hits in that show? Don't you want to see this in IMAX? That sounds incredible. So yes, November 2nd, gkids.com/Evangelion. Do the thing, obtain the tickets, watch the movie, and glorious IMAX.
Da-da.
I do that and it messes with my camera. It gets really
Yes,
mad.
it's like, whew, where's that white balance going?
It's like, hang on, what are you doing?
And then, all right, I think that was our news. There we go, of announcements and things we're excited about.
Yes.
And so Overwatch still around now.
Yes. It's still around.
No,
Excuse you.
Gigadare says it's very fun. Referring to Evangelion. No, I was just like, is it in between a seasons or something? That's how much I.
It is
keep up
currently
with
the
it.
postseason. This
There we
weekend,
go.
we had the Western wild card to determine the two
Yes.
teams that will be going to the finals this coming week. No, next week. Next week. What day is it?
I know, that's why I was like, woo!
Yeah,
Yes.
man alive. So I was absolutely right. It is the Florida Mayhem and the Toronto Defiant. Like I said, for the Justice, it's very much a matter of are they on or are they off? And my God, if you're a Boston fan this weekend, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Because the first match on Friday was the Florida Mayhem versus the Boston Uprising. I swear that match lasted 45 minutes. Maybe. For those going, oh,
How long
that
is
doesn't
an
seem
average match?
90.
Oh. Then that is a bit
It did
short.
not. It was a speed run. It set at least one map record, which is not an easy thing to do anymore because those map records are pretty hard to beat. So it was, if you were a Boston fan, Friday was hard. Saturday was also hard when they got beaten by the Justice, and then the Justice got taken out by the Defiant. Florida's basically sailing through the wild card, looking very good. So we have our brackets available. The games are going to start, the playoffs are going to start on Sunday, October 30th. And our first matches are going to be Spitfire versus Fusion, Dragons versus Spark, Rain versus Mayhem, and Outlaws versus Defiance. So we have at least one grudge match in there. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and say we've got three. 3 of the 4 of these are revenge matches. That's going to be fun. For those going, okay, well, Spark and Dragons, it's because they're both APAC. And Outlaws and Defiant, it's because the Outlaws lost their final regular season game to the Defiant. So this is getting bad. Okay. But what's the third one? Spitfire and Fusion is a rematch of Overwatch League Season 1 finals. They are not the same teams by any stretch of the imagination. But given how each of them have been performing this season and going up into the end here, I can see this being a very, very contentious match. From there on in, the top 4 seeds, the Fuel, the Dynasty, the Shock, and the Gladiators, get to pick which teams they want to play from the winners of those games. The losers of those games drop into the losers bracket. It is double elimination, as always, and it will be played on the new patch, including Kiriko and including some adjustments for other characters. Sombra is the one I'm thinking of now. I think the Sombra hack time got nerfed a little bit. I also think they nerfed Zenyatta a little bit because they made him a little overpowered, and as a Zen main, I regret nothing, but like it's a little unbalanced in professional play. So the finals will play every day. We even get Halloween matches, you guys. That's going to be a wild one. So the playoffs are every day, every weekday. So we have Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursday is when we have our winners final. And Friday is our losers finals and the grand finals. And Thursday and Friday are both in person in the Anaheim Convention Center. If you do not have your ticket for that, there are still tickets available. I will be there on Friday. So join me for that. I will probably be in full Gladiators regalia because I'm fully expecting the Glads to make it that far. I might eat those words. We'll find out. I say that as someone who's wearing a Guangzhou Charge shirt tonight. That's not a team that's coming to Anaheim. So it was an interesting weekend. It's going to be an absolutely buck wild week next week. I'm super excited. Let's go. And then you guys don't have to hear me talk about this for a while. Everyone like, finally.
Well, that's why we have the banner up for those. Everyone who's decided they're like, yes, we are here, and everyone else
Overwatch
is like,
League is
all right,
available.
yes.
It's like, all right, this is the 10 minutes where we can put it on mute and go get a drink. All right, let's go. I know I do this just for me.
No,
but I
don't
don't
mute
care.
Katie, but if you got to go grab your beverage, go for that, but leave it on so you can keep listening.
This is why we give people the lower thirds, so they're able to
Yeah.
just kind of chapter skip in their live
Mhm.
experience.
Hey, you know what? Sometimes you are looking for that specific thing, ourselves included. I'm like, where is that on here? I was like, wait, hold on. Momentary tangent on that. Behind the scenes, inside scoop for y'all of I do it where I actually like essentially talk to future self of do something on my red carpet recording and everything like, hey, I'm Carrie and I'm here. And if I mess up or whatever and take a pause, I'm just like, I'm sorry. And I, in that time in the future, watch it and I'm just like, oh, well, at least thanks for saying so.
At some point, I am going to cut together all of my ridiculous bloopers from when I'm filming my pickups. And for those going, what is that? If you ever watch any of our interviews here, you have the bit where, hi, I'm so and so. I'm at this place. Here's who we talked to, and then it goes into the interview. Filming pickups is weird. By about the fourth take, you're starting to forget who you are, where you're from, and what you did. But it's it leads to some really, really interesting bloopers sometimes.
Yes. Or I feel like I repeat words. I feel like I say the
Yeah.
same word a sentence apart. I'm just like, ugh. Anyway.
Flub a word. I kind of mess
Behind the
something up,
scenes.
go, 180-degree turn, hang the head. All right, let's get back to it. So one of these days, I'm going to just cut together a little blooper reel for me.
I post some, and then, I was all, wait, back to be following us on social media because we post sometimes our bloopers on our social media as well. Because I do that sometimes, or especially if it's a very particular moment or a sigh or something. I posted just that clip.
Honestly, my blooper compilations are on my Patreon. But that's for other.
Nice.
That is for the videos on the other channel.
Yeah.
I have not put together a hosting blooper reel. I probably should.
You should. That'd be fun.
This is why you should hire me to cover your event. 35 seconds of all right, let's try it again.
Yes. Hey, nobody's perfect, and sometimes you're getting in that mode or there's a lot going on. Yeah. All right.
I've been talking to people for 98 minutes. I don't remember what words are. Let's go.
Well,
that's what
speaking
pickups
of
are.
Trying and trying again, we got your
Swap
family.
it. Swap
Just
it.
kidding. Yes, that's true. Well, our chaser.
That's it.
Yes.
We do the shot then chaser. Shot then chaser.
I was all, hold on. I got one for that of keep trying. Dobby keeps trying to make our Crispy Hawks value meal.
I nearly got fried chicken tonight. I'm not kidding.
Just
Nothing to do with this, but I was very tempted. It's just, of course, it's going to cut back to, well, what is your one weakness? I'd have to say fire. Well, how do you deal with it? I strike first. Cut to,
whoops.
Cut to screaming on fire. Like, oh, so you're having a great day then. Everything's coming up Hawks.
Yes.
Personally, I think Dobby's full of shit. I don't
slow roasted. And Dobby wants that fried chicken. Yes.
And cue that El Pollo Loco ad.
Well,
if you're in Florida, cue that Zaxby's ad.
And no spoilers if you've read it or gotten ahead. Just please do not. No spoilers.
Yeah. No, as I say, I have a few manga spoilers, which I will be avoiding in discussion, but I mostly just kind of have them randomly and have no idea what the timing is. So for me, most of this is just like, okay, one fear.
Well, we got that thing of Dobby whispering or saying something to our Hawks, and we don't know what that was. Because how do you know who I am? And he's like, well, of course, we don't get to hear that.
I don't think Dobby is a big follower of Stain, though.
Oh, do you think that's all just the front?
Oh, I think he's full of shit.
I
think that reasoning he gave, it's one of those things where it's like, that's a little too pat. That felt really disingenuous. Just because I know we don't really know much about Dobby, if
No.
anything,
Mhm.
but we have someone in the League of Villains whose thing is they are a follower of Stain. That is the big, they want to enact his purpose, all of that. Like it's the lizard guy whose name I forget.
Mhm.
Um,
Yes.
but if we've had him this entire time and we've had Dobby working and interacting with him, why have we never seen a conversation about this? Why has this never happened? Like,
Mm.
if this was established if this is his motivation,
Yes.
why
Spinner.
have we
Thank
seen
you.
nothing? Spinner, thank you.
That's a very good
I'm
point.
great at names.
There would have been something that, some kind of connection. Do you think he has a more specific purpose, or he is more in the chaos side of things?
I think he has his own purpose, and I think he's not telling us. I
Mm,
think he's
I
not
like
telling
it.
Hawks. I think he's not telling the audience. It's like,
Hmm.
because he very much like he's in it to kill Hawks, and again, he is doing the
Yes.
slow roast. But
Yes.
I think he also knows there's always a chance that someone gets away, especially since there
Mm.
has been a lot of in and out of, well, we had Bakugo. Well, Bakugo managed to escape. Well, we had this. Well, this person got away. Like, we
Mhm.
are really raising the stakes, but he full well knows, like, there's always a chance that someone gets away. So I think anything he says to Hawks is just utter bullshit.
I think you're onto something there.
Yeah. I think he's smarter than pretty much everyone in the League of Villains. Like, before League of Villains joined the Metahuman Liberation Front?
Yes.
Yes, thank you, brain. Before League of Villains like joined up
Yeah.
and now there's a whole ass army, like, he was smarter than anyone in the OG crew. He's the one that had his noise together more than pretty much everyone else. So, no, I don't think this is the story. I think this is bullshit.
Question is how long before we get to find out for real, because it's season like 6 and all. I think they might go a while and drags out.
The manga's still going.
Yeah.
So, who knows? I know there's Dobby spoilers out there. He's one of those guys that just strikes me as, nah, this ain't it. This can't be it. I don't believe that. It's too easy. It's too pat. And if that really were the case, there would have been some setup for it, just because it's been such a big conversation. Like, nope, too easy. It's bullshit. It's misinformation.
Trying to think of other totally unrelated, but a moment that stood out because it was just funny. I liked our fat taxi.
I love him.
It's a quirk. I was like, oh,
He's
it's a
so
cool
good. He's
activity.
so good.
I like that we get some present Mike being nice and loud, because we haven't see him fight much in a while, if at all.
Is, I'm actually going to pull it up because I can't remember the name and I want to be able to credit her. There is a YouTuber who does some of the funniest damn shorts, and a lot of them are about My Hero Academia, and she had one about Present Mike and the change in Present Mike's demeanor.
Is this
Nikki Marina.
Nikki, there we go.
Nikki Marina.
Yes.
And for those of you going, who? Nicque Marina.
She's awesome. She's on TikTok too.
Amazing. Yeah. Like, I
Marvel,
think the stuff,
My Hero, anime, all kinds of stuff.
Like, I think the stuff that she does for TikTok, she also posts on YouTube.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Present Mike, because of like finding out that, oh, they reused his friend's corpse to do some shit. Like, Present Mike going from, we're cool, I'm the fun DJ character, I'm the friend in this relationship that's like the happy peppy one. It's the someone will die of fun dichotomy. He is the of fun person. And just the fact that that is gone for this season, because this is the big time, this is very serious, and he's gone from my friend died when we were teenagers, it's a tragic accident, to they murdered him and reused his body. Like, oh, that's a lot more skin in the game than we previously had here. It's edging on beware the nice ones. And as a viewer, I love it. As a person, I kind of hate that for him. But, like, it's a fun character thing to watch, but it's also like, oh, buddy, are you okay? And the answer is no. especially since we got that conversation with the doctor where, for one, he's like, yes, I was the person that came up with the original metahuman singularity. I can't remember the names of the theories, but like he came up with the theory and it's become the quirk doomsday theory. That's like the big
Yes.
thing today. He has a quirk that lets him live super long. And just
Surprise.
talking with,
Yeah.
and talking with Present Mike as he's being dragged along and telling him, we originally wanted erasure. Like they wanted to kill Aizawa and not the third friend. It's like, oh, you're just gonna stab him as much as you possibly can. That's cool. That's fun.
This is gonna
If the
sound
doctor
dark.
doesn't make it out of this season, I won't miss him.
I was just gonna say, I'm like, this is gonna be a bit dark AF, but this is kind of the Batman syndrome of like, do we really need that doctor around? Because it's just gonna cause more problems. But then you keep them alive, and guess what? It causes more problems.
It's one of those things where, as a hero and as a legal hero with a license, you don't just kill them. You don't get to make that decision.
Yeah.
But I think it's also one of those things where if it happens, if it's you or them and there is no other way to take them down safely, it's what Hawks was doing with Twice. Like if they can't be knocked out, they'll keep getting back up and it will get worse and worse and worse. So sometimes you just got to do it. I don't think that Present Mike's is not the same. Present Mike is not the same mindset as Hawks. Like that's
it's a
very
different
different worlds.
Yes.
But
if there's happened to be an accident, I don't think they'll rush to save him.
Boy, there sure are a lot of high-end Nomu running around.
Yeah.
Boy, shit's sure going down.
Yep.
And my God, Mirko.
My girl.
Seeing is like, oh, the thing in the tube. He's no longer an angry kid. He is dangerous and we cannot let him out. We cannot let him be awakened. Like, this is bad. This is bad. This is bad. This is all of my prey instincts going, if that gets out, it'll kill us all. So, just from the preview, pretty sure the guy who was there to just make sure that Shigaraki didn't get up isn't going to survive. Pretty sure the preview has Shigaraki wearing his cape.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure that dude's goner.
He's done. He's done. Yeah. That's why he wasn't like a big, well-known hero to the audience. Just like, oh, the cannon fodder. The person that we can show that, it's a bad thing that he's awake and he super McMurdered them, but one that the audience will not be like, oh my God.
We get a little bit with him
awake
there, but
means the monster is awake too.
Yes. Yes.
It's all bad. It's all bad. It's all bad.
But I did appreciate the higher stakes. Not that I liked that she got hurt, but I liked the danger and severity of it, of Mirko having the different, like, intense wounds on this battle. And I was like, oh shit, she's still pushing through and everything. And then Endeavor, hold on, I need to cauterize the wound. You're like, ah!
It's like, bear with me. Like, okay. And just the respect that he has for her.
Yes. Giga Derek says, I swear some of these characters don't have names. Yeah, there's some people that sometimes I'm like, who was that? Yes.
I mean, they gave us a name. I don't remember. It was something X-ray something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, the Shigaraki Mindscape was cool.
I did like that.
I like it, but I'm also just kind of like, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was good, but it was also like, I wish you'd stopped.
Yes.
I wish you'd stopped.
Well, it stops at 75%. So I wonder what that means. Like, what does that mean then of how much ability did he get? What does that entail? And again, no spoilers, but it's just one of those like, oh, let's see what that entails.
Like the last we'd seen before he went into the tube, he was able not only to decay things that he was touching, but also the things that they were touching. Mm-hmm. Everyone's in an underground facility here. So, like, all bad.
Yeah. That's all bad.
All bad.
Yes.
All of it. All of it bad. And that's honestly, that's one of those things where that is a take the shot scenario.
And the high-end Nomu, like, being gnarly, too, of Aizawa trying to help out, but he has to take care of the certain ones. And it's just like, need more heroes down there faster.
Yeah.
Yes. Anything else
so
that stood out on that one?
it's just all it's an anxiety attack every week. That's what it's gonna be. It's just gonna be very high paced and very painful, and just kind of sitting here going,
Ooh, yes.
so
The Nomu
very
getting smart, and we
yeah.
almost literally get to see the brain cells working and the synapses
Yeah.
connecting and everything. Uh-oh.
Yeah. No,
That's
it's all a problem. It's
Mhm.
all very much a problem. So it's one of
Yes.
those things where I am given that this is the war arc, like I am expecting things to get a whole lot worse for everyone before they get better. Especially since so far
Probably.
we have sidelined all of our student characters. Like that's part of what Fat Taxi was to get the
Yes.
students back to safety, which is a little scene I appreciated. Like, yeah, no, you've done your best. You did what we needed you to do. At this point, when we're moving in, the wide range attacks would cause problems for your allies. It's better for you to be safe. Like, yeah, no, this is fair. True,
Mhm.
accurate, yes. But yeah, I don't think they're going to be sidelined for long.
No. I think they're going to have to come in and help because they need all the help they can get
Things are
to
going to
take
get
everybody down.
bad. I'm just expecting things to be like, oh, especially again, Shigaraki being up means that he can order the giant around, and that's when things
Mhm.
get real bad.
Also, in an underground space, having a giant wake up is not good.
Yeah, no, I don't know if containment's going to work too much longer. But
Ooh. It's true. It's crazy to think how intense it's been, and we haven't even seen the big characters in action yet. That's true. We've only seen little bits and pieces.
We're seeing the responsible adults be, for the most part, responsible adults
Mm-hmm.
and try to keep the children out of danger. It's like, yeah, no, we know this is going to be bad. You're all on provisional licenses. Need you
Yeah.
to chill. Kaiju.
Kaiju problems, yes.
Hashtag just kaiju things.
Yep. Yes. All right. I think that's it for my hero.
Yeah, this is why we do my hero first, because it's all like, oh.
My pun transition worked better on the other one, so that's why I was like, yes. But speaking of trying to get things better, I really appreciate your trying to cook and learn to cook.
Oh my God.
That girl cannot cook at all, and that's okay. You know what? Not everybody has been taught how to cook.
Yeah.
So don't feel bad if you don't know how. It's the initiative of wanting to learn. That's fantastic. Girl needs to be careful with a peeler. That just like seeing the aftermath, my fingers were no thank you.
It's just like, okay, I need you to don't use those potatoes. Those potatoes are a biohazard. Don't use them.
Yes.
Just we sat down to watch it, and like 5 seconds into the cold open, my roommate goes, "Oh, she's been taking cooking classes." I'm like, you know what? I bet you're right. So she called it immediately. Saw the setup and went, "Oh, it's this." Oh, huh.
Also, sorry, real quick. Giga Derek swooped in with my
My
hero
hero
anxiety.
Yeah.
Yes, the cooking, and which also, speaking of childhood traumas and things, and watching animated movies way too young, big lesson learned in The Last Unicorn for all you kids who watched that way back when. Peel away from you. When you're peeling a potato, you don't want to peel towards you because you're going to cut yourself more likely.
Your skin off.
Yes, so you peel away from yourself
Yeah.
carefully.
Anytime you peel something, it's always away from you. Anytime you open something with a knife, it's always away from you.
Yes.
Like always.
And then watch for recoil of like your eyeballs.
Never know. Yep.
Yes.
Yep. Just don't mess with it. Safety tips. Safety tips. But yeah, the sweet moment of, well, what did your mom make for you? Oh, it was this kind of stew. Oh, it was this. Oh, well, if you're from this region, they add sour cream, and her like being able to recreate that and just like, oh.
That looked really good.
It did.
It made me very hungry. Anime food, always.
And then making it with a fried egg. Well, it wasn't quite a fried egg, but I tried. And I'm like, I've had eggs turn out like that. I've had fried eggs turn out like that. That's normal.
It tastes the same. Whatever. It's one of those. It's fine.
We can't all make Miyazaki food.
I loved that the coworker was not a total biatch of, you know, she's just a little she's a cactus. She's a little prickly, but she's nice, and she recognized Yor was trying and the struggles. And as a woman too, I like that moment of the I can't have issues with the divorce or my husband, and she recognized that. Okay, let me help you. Like,
Yeah.
okay, I like that. I appreciated that.
And then you're trying to make like just oh well, it might be safe. My last meal. Like, oh, Anya, what a sweetie.
Oh, and of course her brother loves everything, and
Well, he grew up on it.
he's been
Like,
conditioned.
he's
His
used to
stomach's
it.
been trained.
He's got some poison immunity up in there. 'Cause
Yes.
it's been built up.
Oh man.
Just one of my favorite bits was Twilight doing the shock thing at the same time as Anya. Just like it is running through the family in reverse.
Yes,
I
and
love it.
I like that they liked it, but her dessert, I guess it looked like a dessert. I was very nervous for
It's
that,
a dish
and
I made
rightfully
up
so.
myself.
No, you're. Well, you know what? You can't. I want to know what she thinks of it though, because we haven't really had her try her own stuff, and I'd be curious if she thinks, "Oh no, this tastes fine," or she goes, "Ooh, wow, maybe too salty or whatever," or she thinks this is amazing. But I'm gonna go with yes. But then,
I think she also eats her own
yes,
stuff.
that too. And yes, Yuri
Yeah.
constantly throwing it up and saying it was delicious. So sorry. That was hilarious and disgusting.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yep.
that was a
Yep.
lot. That was a lot.
Yep. Me over here going,
Yeah.
thank you for not going into detail on that.
Yes.
Yeah. This
But
was an episode we had where they adapted multiple chapters that didn't have anything to do with each other. So kind of at the break we got a different story. And
yeah,
I get the feeling looking at the preview for next episode that it's going to be the same for that as well. And we're probably just going to have a couple weeks where it's all lighthearted, multiple disparate chapters, adaptations, because let's be real, terrorist dog bombings was a big thing.
yes.
And it got super real super quickly. So maybe just kind of like, hey, we pulled the mask off for a little bit. Now we're going to chill for, we're going to
But we
give the
do
audience a
have
little bit of time to chill.
emotional stakes because it was intriguing to see Twilight kind of, really realizing how much this family's meaning to him when he's talking to Frankie of, ooh, who, like you could just see that weight on him.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, good. I'm glad
Like,
you're.
says the guy with a wife, yeah, they're my mission family. It's like, are they?
Mm-hmm.
Are
And he's noticing
they?
Nor's coming back later, but he doesn't want to
Yeah.
like get in her business. But it's like, oh, yay. So do you think then also for Bond, him seeing your cry was the happy cry later, essentially?
Oh, it absolutely was. Yeah.
And poor Anya's, Mama's gonna cry.
Oh no! And I'm like, Bond, you're not helping.
Yeah, Bond,
No,
you need
no,
to
puppy,
focus.
puppy. You're a good boy, but also that's not helping. And I mean, he may be intelligent, but he's also still a dog.
Yes.
So like,
And it can sometimes be that self-fulfilling prophecy of like, well, careful because that might make that happen. But yeah. It's like,
I loved your learning to cook. I could have taken or left Frankie learning to date.
That was a little, yeah, it kind of felt like, okay. Because, I mean, we like him as a side character, but it was a bit, I think it was more for the benefit of Twilight and how he, this guy is trying to find love and doesn't have somebody, and Twilight has somebody.
Yeah.
And is realizing maybe he has feelings in a way.
And Frankie just has no idea how to hold a conversation. No. And so it's like, oh, well, you're good at this. Like, yes, I have to be. This is my job.
Yes.
So
and
writing out that. Yeah. Writing out that conversational flow chart. Like, oh no, is this what BioWare game development looks like?
Yes,
just like,
probably.
Alrighty, cool. Awesome. This is not the way to do things. Obviously, neither of you are socialized well, but okay. And it's just like, all right, well, he's trying, he's doing the thing. Oh, he's fallen for someone who's working a service job and is friendly because it's part of the job. Oh, he did the why can't they just give me a pity date thing? Like,
yeah, that was a little yikes.
Buddy. Just
and also stalker. I appreciate that Twilight called out, ooh, stalker.
Like, no, you're a stalker. And
I
I
mean,
mean,
I understand
Frankie
being
has a job
enthusiastic,
gathering
but
information, but this is
that
outside.
was
It's his skills applied very much outside the bounds of his job. And it's like,
yes. That's a
so
big
it's, I get
yikes.
it. We kind of wanted the storyline about the hapless dude trying to get a date and then them bonding afterwards. Just like, yeah, no, it's life.
Yeah.
But like, there was some execution in this one that was just a little like, all right, cool. Huh.
It's a reminder of, well, good to know on that.
And I mean, the stalking wasn't presented as correct. The why can't they give me a pity date wasn't presented as correct. It's not like the narrative was behind
Yes.
this, but
Yeah.
it was also just like,
Yeah.
Damn it, Frankie.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Oh, and Anya going like, "Ooh, wow, your date didn't go well," or
When
something.
you're reading his mind and just going over and patting his head was amazing.
She just looks up. Sorry. What? How do you know? That was
Whereas
cute.
my roommate's take on this was an 18-year McClellan and he finished it that quickly? Those are meant to be savored. Like, oh. My roommate who knows more about scotch than I do.
Yeah, poof, that would be over my head too.
An 18-year McClelland is fancy and smooth. It does go down easy, which is why it's meant to be savored. It doesn't have your Jack Daniels cheap whiskey burn. Or at least not to that extent, you know?
Right. Yeah. I feel that was kind of the major points. If there's anything that stood out to you in these episodes, please leave comments down below. Anything that we were like, that was my favorite moment or whatever, let us know.
I agree with you. I disagree with you. Discussion is welcome. Be polite.
Yes. There we go. And stuff you should check out. Woo! We did talk a little bit, obviously, at the beginning because we were talking about animation film. But I will reiterate: Oni Thunder God's Tale on Netflix. Absolutely go watch it. It's adorable. And then One Piece Red coming out soon. Also very exciting.
Yes.
Those were kind of the big ones I watched. Kind of a throwback because we talked about it a while ago, but I finally finished Severance season 1. It is a very slow burn at the beginning, but it does kind of pick up and it's still very intriguing, interesting how it ends. But we're going to have to wait a while for season 2 because I think I saw that they're only just starting to film that. Yeah. But if you want like a slow burn, weird, quirky, like what the fuck is going on? Severance is a cool one, though it's over on Apple Plus.
I've heard good things.
Yeah, it's one of those, like, I wasn't sure at first, like, you got to go a while, though. I mean, like, I think it's, like, 9 episodes or something, and I'm going to say it's not till about, like, 5 that you really get what's going on, but that kind of helps with that build-up, because you just really are like, I don't understand what's going on, because they work a job that you don't know what they do, you don't really know where it is, and you don't know anything about them, but then that's the interesting concept of who are you if you can't remember your past, your name, your like random things, like what defines you as an individual.
Yeah.
And that's really cool.
Yeah.
Yes. Katie, what about you? What have you been watching, reading?
I will once again reiterate that everyone needs to watch Wendell and Wild when it drops on Netflix on the 28th. And it is a beautiful movie, very well made, you know, another addition to everyone's Halloween watching. I'm certain it will be. And it is utterly unapologetic about what it has to say. And it damn well should be, you know, unapologetic. Go for it. Go nuts. Definitely support that. It is beautiful and it is such a good movie. And we kind of need more movies like this. Let's be real. We do. We could use, this was like 7 years in the making. They've been working on this one for a while. So it's going to be out on Friday. Do the thing, watch it. It's going to be great. The Chucky series continues to be absolutely wonderful. Again, if you are into the Child's Play series, if you're into the Child's Play franchise, if you're into the movies, you're going to love the series. If you're like, well, I'm not caught up, like I said, Dead Meat on YouTube does a refresher. You can watch through all of his Chucky kill counts and the season 1 kill count and kind of get a refresher as to what's going on. And then hop into season 2. It airs on Sci-Fi. It has been an absolute blast so far. I think that's it. It has mostly been YouTube and whatnot on my end. It's been
It's all good.
everything has happened so much recently, you guys. So that's just kind of where we are, is
Well,
putting the same 10-minute power hour on and just like
but
vibing.
sometimes if people missed it before that we talked about it, it's always good to bring it back again, because I was just looking through my notes. I'm like, what did I watch recently? Still shout out AMC's Interview with the Vampire is still really cool, really fun, sexy, and queer, and just a cool changes on that IP of like, let's change what time period it starts at and other things, which is really cool to see how that unfolds. And Rings of Power, still really cool as well.
And evidently House of the Dragon has had its season finale.
Yes, I have. But now it's one of those, I'm like, all right, maybe I'll go watch it now and wait till they're all done. Gigadera says there was a new episode of Hell of a Boss. Very fun.
Oh, Hell of a Boss is better than it has any right to be, but it is such a great show. It's on YouTube. It's on Vivzy Pop's channel. If you've seen the pilot and were kind of turned off by the pilot, come back, because the actual show itself keeps the characters, but it's very different in tone and execution from the pilot. Because I also watched the pilot and I was like, all right, this is kind of, it's got like weird Family Guy cutback style humor. It's kind of like, all right, this is kind of weird and manic and I'm not super into it. And then I watched the first episode when it dropped and went, this is so different from the pilot. This is so much better. It is not a family show. Don't you start.
There's a wink.
It is not. Yeah, it's a family show, and Unicorn Wars is a family movie. It's very much it's about hell. It's about a group of imps who are contractors who take contracts to go to the human world and assassinate people. But it's also about their really weird group dynamics and their family dynamics, because of the boss of the group adopted a daughter who is a hellhound, basically a werewolf. The two other imps are dating and they're adorable. It's a show about family. I'll give you that. There's a lot of weird relationship entanglement. It can be very crude. It is definitely very violent. It's had some amazing voice cameos. Alex Brightman is a recurring character. And they also had at one point, oh my God, what's his name? I can see him. The one character in The Walking Dead where everyone was like, if this guy dies, we riot.
Daryl?
Who plays him?
Oh.
You know who I mean, though?
Yes.
He was a character in one of the episodes, and it was amazing. Like season... I don't know if this is season 2 just starting or the back half of season 1 just starting, but they took a production break. They're back now. It's all on YouTube. It's called Hell of a Boss. Highly recommended. Very good.
Yay. Yes. Sorry, it's one of those, I'm like, ooh, brain is getting at the end of the day. We record this at nighttime.
My God.
So.
Yeah, we do. Also,
but you know what? That's why it's nighttime in the Nerd Bar.
Next week's episode is on Halloween. It is going to be pre-recorded, so there will not be any Overwatch League talk, any episode recaps, anything, because we're going to pre-record, because I have things on Halloween. So, like, we want to give you guys a show to watch, but we also have things. So, like... Yes.
We will kind of... Norman Reedus is the name of the actor.
Norman Reedus. Thank you. Thank you.
So yes, next week will all be about spooky and spoopy. So we'll have our recommendations of either short films, feature films, episodics, just things that are really kind of great for this time of year and any other time, because horror is awesome. But, it's always fun right around that Halloween season, even more so. So have your suggestions ready, which leave those as a comment. I'm like, wait, then... because you can tweet those at us and let us know some of your thoughts. And then maybe we might have some of those as our recommendations. But yes, Katie, where can people find you?
You can follow me all over the social medias as well as on YouTube and Twitch at Kiaxet. That is Kiaxet. If you enjoy reaction videos and also discussions about all sorts of fun things, they are all on that YouTube channel. I am also a host for Silver Screams, Silver_Screams on the social media, Silver Screams on YouTube, and that is me and my roommate doing a horror channel. She is the horror aficionado. Believe it or not, I'm not. And so it's very interesting to talk about things. We recently did a video on the Spirit Halloween trailer because they're making a movie about Spirit Halloween stores. And
I
we
kind of
also
like the
did.
trailer.
Oh yeah, no, it looks ridiculous. Let's go. They
Yeah.
basically brought in Christopher Lloyd and said, "You want to choose some scenery?" And he went, "Yes," and that's the trailer.
Yes.
And also teenagers.
I'd watch him
So,
choose scenery though. I'm like, yes.
oh my God, yes, yes. We also did a video on the Megan trailer, which if you want to see me transcend reality for 14 and a half minutes, that's a fun video to watch. I took about 30 points of psychic damage right in the first minute and then spent the entire rest of the video dealing with that. So yeah, check those out.
And then, which also on this channel, stay tuned here on Fanversation. Make sure to give the video a thumbs up, subscribe button, because we'll be posting more videos, interviews from the Animation is Film Festival. So there'll be a lot of that kind of content. Stay tuned. We talked with directors, voice actors, producers, and just all things about animation. So if you're here, I'm pretty sure you're in the animation. So you're going to want to check those out. Then you can find me online. There we go. Make sure at right side at Carrie D Lane. That's across all platforms, KARIDLANE, and on Twitter. And then I'll just post it to Instagram too. So if you're not on, it's on TikTok, but then it's gonna be on Twitter and Instagram. So if you're not on TikTok, it's okay. It'll be over on the other ones eventually too. I have a compilation from the film festival for the other day. So stay tuned for that, as well as the interviews, which will be coming hopefully soon, next day or so. And then just checking out the chat. Thank you for the live chat. Have a good evening, everyone. And is it Monday yet? Yes.
You are really going to try to make that happen, aren't you? I'm here for it.
We thank everybody in the live chat who watched that. Thank you so much. And if you're watching this later, also love you. And again, leave comments about different topics. And what are some of your favorite Halloween movies? Which we'll mention that on the Halloween episode, but still, let us know.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Take care, everyone, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.